I've got a Toyota Highlander 2015, and the headlamps are starting to get kind of foggy. This one's not as... This one's actually worse. And I was looking on the internet, and they recommend this Meguiar's headlight restoration kit. So you don't use any special tools. It comes with some compound and some sponges to compound everything by hand, and then they recommend every year that you just clear coat with the one compound. Even if you have clear lenses, just keep clear coating it so that it protects it more. So we're going to give that a shot and see what this looks like. With the Highlander, you definitely want to do this with the hood open. I don't think it's a good idea if you get the spray paint on the rubber here. So the only way to make sure you don't get any on there is to mask it off. I'm actually masking the whole lens off, but I don't think we want to get any of that clear coat on the rubber. Okay, so the next step, they make sure to point out that you shake the bottle vigorously, and you put a good amount on the pad that they include, and to do some even back and forth strokes of getting this entire lens clean. And they say that you might have to do it, more than once. Alright, so we have a protective lid on the bottle here. It's pretty liquidy. This is not like toothpaste. It comes out in a very liquid type form. They say you want a uniform look on the lens. This particular lens has quite a few bumps and caveats in it, so it's a little hard to get into all the corners as easily as you would think. There's quite a bit to it, especially here in this area I'm buffing right now. So I didn't put enough on the pad to get one even amount on, so I'll put a little bit more on to get the corner here. It also dries fairly quickly on the lens. Alright, so I'm going to get a rag now and clean this off, and then let's see what the first cleaning looks like. Okay, I'm going to use a microfiber cloth to wipe this off. And I suspect we're going to do this a couple more times. But boy, does this dry quick. They say you want a very uniform look, and if you don't have a uniform look, do it again until you get a nice uniform scratched look, because this is actually going to scratch it more but make it look very even. And then when you apply the clear on it, that's what's going to make it, shine and look like glass again. Okay, so this is what it looks like after the first compounding. The whole idea is to get the lens clean, which is what this did. So I'm now going to compound it a second time. I also cleaned the pad on the hose to get all the gunk out of it. And I think the second compounding will be enough, and then we can put the clear coat on. Okay, so you definitely have to get some newspapers and mask your headlamp off. They tell you explicitly to not get this on the paint or any of the other plastic trim that could be on the car. They also recommend that you don't do it in the wind, but that's kind of hard to do outside. Now, interestingly enough, I've been shaking this for over a minute, and there's no ball inside. It's not rattling. So I'm going to keep shaking it, but I'm not sure if there's actually a ball inside this can. Okay, I've continued to shake this can, and it apparently has no ball in it. Boy, I'll tell you, if it dries like that, that looks fantastic. They want you to wait 3 to 5 minutes after applying the first coat, and then apply a medium coat, and it will also take about 3 to 5 minutes, but it takes a full 24 hours to cure. Okay, it's been about 4 minutes, so I'm going to put the second coat on. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry. I am not going to do the other headlamp because I want an A-B comparison to see what this looks like. But right now I'm very impressed. If this dries clear like it is right now, this is not bad. The hardest work, honestly, is just masking off the car with the paper and the tape. Okay, to help blow dry the lens before you put the clear coat on, I'm going to use my blower, my cordless blower. Now I'll mask everything off and then we can clear coat it. I think it's easier to mask it after you've buffed it. Okay, so when I cleaned the headlamps, I decided to use Windex without any ammonia in it. Ammonia is not good for plastics. It'll dry it up. So this should help keep the plastic more healthy if you don't use the ammonia. So I've cleaned this with a fresh terry cloth to make sure there's no dirt on it. It's funny, through the camera it has a much wetter look than it does in person. It's surprisingly better looking through the camera than in person. The other one is drying, and it's looking good. If it continues to look like this when it totally dries, I'm perfectly happy with these results. Alright, so I'm going to apply the first coat of clear on here. And we'll wait about 5 minutes for the second coat. Okay, so I've got the second coat on the headlamp, and so now I'm just waiting for it to dry, and then I'll pull the tape off and the paper. The only complaint I've got about this kit is the buffing pad that they give you. It's really meant for small hands. If you got a larger hand like I do, you try to grab this thing, it's just not enough area here. It's a very small, pad. You can see it fits in the palm of my hand. I would prefer something larger, or if it had a little handle on the back, it would be a lot easier to grab it. But besides that, the kit seems to be pretty good. I don't think there's enough spray in the can to do 2 cars. There's probably enough in there to do maybe 3 coats per headlamp, I'm going to guess. Other than that, I'm not going to know till tomorrow when I can actually see how this thing, when it totally dries. Now, it says it dries in 5 minutes. I did touch the other headlamp, and it is dry to the touch, which is good because it's outdoors. It's going to start collecting bugs and dust this evening. But overall, this is not a lot of work. As I said, the only part I think that's a lot of work is masking everything off with paper and some masking tape. Okay, so this is the finished project, and I'm quite happy with it. They're very clear. It's not a lot of work. And now the question is time. How long will this hold up before it has to be done again? They say it should be done every year. I would like to see if it could go longer than that. But we'll see how it turns out.